I guess we'll call to order. And motion on the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Okay, and I guess I second. I'd love to do that. All in favor? Or any discussion? No, all in favor.
Okay,
Unless there is discussion.
All in favor.
Okay. Okay, so.
So what were the items that were, I just can't, I wanted to and should have, and we will invite Patty to the next meeting. Because of the strategic plan component and the outreach, and I probably should have done that tonight with the budget and negotiations. I haven't exactly had a lot of extra space in my, what do they call it, random access memory. It's kind of full right now. Going great, but just tightening things up. In terms of process, where we're at with the strategic planning process is the administrators felt that the staff needed to do this when they get back from break. So we've got a process lined up to get everything done, and Patty can talk about the steps. I think the biggest part is getting the community input that we talked about last time. And I just haven't had a chance to do much with that. It'll be literally after Friday of this week, things will be a lot easier because the bulk of the budget conversation, the bulk of the budget conversation will have occurred and be done. This should be this week, unless there's some big unforeseen issue that usually I kind of know because people will call and tell me. So I don't think there will be a lot of problems, but I think that what my sense has been is that people that I've talked to generally agree with the multimodal approach, that we have a board meeting where the board interacts with the public and the public comes and shares their feedback about the plan. But also for a lot of people that can't attend, a survey is helpful, right? Sending it out just so that they can have a way to share whatever it is that they think they need to do. The question is more like the fun part of it, like how do we, like we threw around a few ideas at the last meeting, gift baskets, something for kids to do. I don't know if you've thought about that at all. I certainly haven't been able to put much time into it this last few weeks, but we're still thinking about it. And then in terms of getting people to be involved, I think that's really the next step. And I'm certainly happy to, like I said, engage Patty and see if she'd like to come and talk about it too. So that should be the agenda item at the next meeting. The first one is the strategic plan, community engagement, and invite Dr. Haynes. And honestly, I don't even mind inviting the principals, right? And saying to them like, hey, what do you think would work?
I think my personal opinion, the best way to get people to come would be something that you can't put a price tag on it in terms of the principal. That could be, I still think principal for a day.
Yeah, the fun
Front
stuff.
row, I mean, sorry. Front row at graduation, of course, that only is probably going to appeal to a very small
The
set
seniors.
of people. I think that might be the best way. I wonder if the principals might have something that that they think that the students would think is cool. And so maybe it's, you get to pick one of them, right? Like principal of, not just like necessarily principal of the high school, because if your kid's in memorial school, but maybe you just get to pick from a variety of them. That way they can hit whatever bracket. I think that might be more than like a gift basket. And I think with the COVID, with the pizza party, I think that might just be not necessarily close to, but I'm not sure that would necessarily be the drawing thing.
So I'll ask Patty to set a target date for a night of a board meeting that we would want to do this. So that we have so that we can backward plan, and we'll probably send some emails to you guys. And if we need to, we could always sneak another meeting in just to talk about it. But I think that timeline wise, we're still okay. I didn't make the administrators stay for tonight because most of the follow-up questions that I got were process questions or questions about specific items, but they're all available tonight by text. So I didn't want to hold Patty over if we didn't have a a real purpose other than to do this. But I think that you're right, more that like getting it to, I would prefer to have parents chime in about what would legitimately draw. So like, if you can talk to some people, like parents that you know over the next week or two, and just say, hey, if we were gonna have this event, like what would really draw people out? You know what I'm saying? Like what would get them to show up? And you could ask them a few ideas, you know, like the front seat at graduation, or I don't know, guitar lesson with Mr. Ambrose, I don't know, you know what I mean? It's like, I'll talk to people too.
Okay.
So like I said, my ability to focus on things, the strategic plan is kind of like, we're just waiting for Friday to get to it, right? Like
Right.
the negotiations in the budget are pretty much getting to the point where they're more self-managing, right?
Yeah.
This is the hardest 6 weeks of the year for those two processes.
Okay.
And it's going great, but it just is time consuming.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that was kind of where I was with those things. The other thing that I thought about was what can we do? What were the other two things on the agenda? Because I have one other idea and I didn't want to throw us off.
Just upcoming budget and other information.
Yeah, so how do we get people to understand that being a part of this process, they don't come to the big three, right? The big three are when I present the budget, the first deliberative where the conversation is, right, and the budget hearing. There's really 5 of them, but the big three are there's the public hearing. The attendance at that since I've been here has been literally 5 or 1 person. 5 people or 1 or 2. It's really low. And then the second piece is getting them to the deliberative and then to the polls. But there's one other meeting that's really, really important that they don't go to. Right? When the board deliberates.
Right.
Because if there was ever a time that you should really speak about the budget, it's before the board adopts it. And no one shows up. So I'm just trying to think of like, how can we explain to people the importance of, I don't know how you explain to people who are super busy, some of them working 2 jobs and managing 1, 2, or 3 or more kids, or a senior citizen that can't get from where they are to the meeting. How do we get people to come to these things? I mean, our deliberatives have had what I would consider to be a really small sample of the community, generally. It's not like it's 500 people in the places, you know, we're talking like 100 people. Our total voting population is 2,100 people at over 10 grand. Which is
Where do we
20%.
stand, like, when we have local polls though, where do we stand versus like state average?
no idea.
Tammy, I feel like you would know that answer.
Yeah, Tammy's.
No,
I do not have a handle on that.
Yeah.
Nope.
I thought you might have a sense.
I mean, it varies. This past February was really low. I mean, extraordinarily low.
Yeah.
Across the whole state.
Right,
wasn't
right,
just our
yeah.
It was
communities.
COVID, it was everything.
Yeah,
disillusionment with the
yeah,
election.
we're just really burned out in COVID too.
So I'm not sure. This isn't gonna necessarily solve what you're asking for or trying to solve, but maybe this might be the stepping stone, which is, I think, I wonder how many more people are watching online now. I feel like people are watching videos online.
Are they? Yeah, you're getting enough people.
We should know that, who's watching our meetings online.
We could look at the number, but I think the question is, are they really watching and paying attention? Like, more is getting organic feedback and they're asking questions. Like the human part of it,
Yeah.
that's great, right?
Yeah, I guess maybe I'm thinking of it in baby steps, and maybe this isn't a step to getting people to come. But I'm just thinking, that I just wonder how many people are watching at home. I agree, it's not enough if it is happening. And then maybe, yeah, are they just putting it on and not really paying attention? Also, part of this might have been a little off track, but you made comments about like the whole texting thing and sending texts because
Yes.
whatever younger people don't watch.
Just update, we've got that ready to go. It's almost gonna happen.
So maybe texting the meetings, like the YouTube the day after or something.
Yeah.
Because maybe the first step is getting them involved in listening. and maybe if they can do that at home, maybe that might be one way to get somebody to become more involved.
No, that's a great point.
So and actually, I was listening to the ISA meeting, I think you made a comment, and I couldn't hear because the video went out. I don't know if you said Maura's probably listening to this on a treadmill, but somebody said treadmill. And
I don't think so.
I was literally listening to it on a treadmill. And I was laughing. I'm like,
Oh, that's funny.
that's what I say, listen to these meetings on my treadmill.
Yeah, that's a good way to do
But
it.
that is, but
Dawn, I
like,
think I was saying Dawn, because Dawn has talked about it, but it might
oh,
have been you.
because that's what I tell people all the time, just, this is what I do, because, all right, maybe I can't come to the meeting, whatever meeting, but I can listen to it on my treadmill, and I can do that at my own time, and I kill two birds with one stone.
Right.
Or in my car, so I obviously I'm not gonna watch it, but I can
No, you
listen
can
to
put it on and listen to the conversation.
So I just wonder if that might be maybe that's not really, the goal is maybe to get people to come here, but maybe the first step might be getting them engaged to listening to what's going on and.
So let's play this out, because we're really close to getting the, I like this is a great idea. If you think about the text messaging, so we're really close to getting that up and running. Brian and Gordon have been running little tests. They pull the information from Alma and send emails to people. They're working on it. It's really close. And you have to, here's one thing that I hated about it. With the text messages, you get a text that tells you how to opt in. You have to manually opt in because of liability or something about the texting fees or.
Yeah,
They won't do it opt out. I push for opt out because I know how people are, right? I know how I am. I get text and I'm like, oh my God, another robo text message, right? I mean,
sure.
I'll push that and do a little video Facebook thing saying, hey, everyone, you've got this new service. You're going to get an email, a text message. Please make sure that you opt in so that you get this and you guys can
Right.
share it, you know. But I think my question more would be, that would work for kids in school. How do we reach the people in other places? Right, like the community at large. So like we have 15% of our households have kids in school. How do we reach the other 80%? And I'm not asking you to answer this. I'm just throwing this out there that that's what I'm pondering, right? When I wonder about communication or public relations, because like would be really great if we could find a way for the board to reach the greater community and say, hey, everyone, this is what, you know, we're working on together.
Right.
Because the one thing I'll say about our board is that there's a huge misconception among teaching staff that they don't understand the level of work and care that has gone into the things that we're doing, that the board is doing sometimes. They hear little snippets, they see a piece of this, they hear it word of mouth. When I put out that video last year about everything that we've done over the last 3 or 4 years, people called and emailed me and said, I didn't have a clue, right? And some of them didn't like it. They were like, well, now they're not going to want to vote for the teacher's contract because you said that we've done it. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You can't hide the fact that people are doing good things to help our teachers.
Yeah.
We have
I think
wonderful
that those
teachers.
videos you do are hands down the best way to get
To get
to
people
get the
listening.
information
Okay.
to the people, because still listening to a meeting, especially a school board meeting, that's way harder than listening to an ISA, right?
Yeah.
ISA meeting is jam-packed, it's 1 hour.
So what if I
Way
did 1 minute
shorter.
ISA summary? Hey, everyone, I just want to let you know what happened at the ISA meeting last night.
That's, you know what, I think I actually made a note somewhere that I wanted to tell you that.
Really good idea.
I think that would be really great if you did ISA meeting videos or something.
But just a little quick, hey, everyone, we talked about the master schedule of the
I
high school,
think
these
that
are the
would be great.
problems.
Yep,
Oh, that's what, see, this is why I like meetings. with you.
yeah, I really think that those videos are
I
great.
don't always know where it's gonna go, but something usually comes up, right? We don't make time to talk about these things, they just get shoved aside. Because they
Yeah,
don't happen.
I think, I feel like that, and I'm really touching upon probably, like, we're not really so much talking about people who don't have, like, the seniors or whatnot, we're not talking about that, so unfortunately, this doesn't maybe affect them. But I feel, I hear a lot of parents talking about, oh, my kid can't take band now next year. And I've actually said to people, listen to the ISA meeting to get more information about it, and to like I personally can't give you, I can't give you a quick synopsis of what's going on. There's really so much that's going into some of these things. Obviously, you guys know much
But
more
you
than I
really
do.
see, that you see
Right,
the depth of the work when you watch that, especially the last two ISA meetings. Because we've been working on this together for 4 years,
Yeah,
right? Tammy and I in particular, and we now the fruit of 4 years of work is starting to actually be,
yeah,
it's starting to come to fruition, it's starting to happen. And of course, COVID slowed things way down. We would be
Yeah.
way further than we are, but you're right, Maura, that like you can't, it's hard, even for me, it's always hard for me to be concise, but it's super hard for me to be concise about something that deep, which is why when she texted me after she watched the ISA meeting, she said, hey, Tom, you or Brian might want to make a video about the high school master schedule.
oh, maybe I did that.
Yeah, you did, but I didn't, it's just been crazy, so I didn't
Yeah,
think about it,
okay.
but I talked to Brian, so I followed up on your point. And Brian said, we're not quite ready to go to the community yet, but when we do, we're going to do that.
Yeah.
So because he's still surveying staff, he wants to get it ready to go out.
Maybe then he just needs to say that.
Yeah,
So maybe he's not having a video explaining the master schedule, but maybe he can just explain like, we hear there are some concerns about it. We just want you to know that we hear what you're saying.
Yep.
We have to work out some more of the details and we will be getting back to you, but we do hear what you're saying, so just acknowledge that.
so I was thinking about a couple of public relations issues that we should talk about. One is the budget.
Mhm.
So I'll make another little video about the budget. Hey, this is what's in the budget, this is what it means. I'm not gonna go as deep with all the 4 years of history this year because we don't have the teacher's contract.
Mhm.
Because I was really trying to make sure that people understood that we needed the teacher's contract to pass and that the budget, and we reduced a lot last year. Because the high school made some significant reductions last year. This year, it's a pretty, what I consider to be a status quo budget.
Mhm.
The budget essentially just maintains what we're doing. It doesn't ask for anything big and it doesn't reduce anything. We're kind of getting to the point where things have been whittled down a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that I need to do one for the budget, and then I was thinking that at some point, we're going to have to, and I'll talk about this in my superintendent's report, we are going to have to talk about whether or not we're going to move grades 3 and 6,
Mhm.
and what the conversation is around that. And my take on that is, I made a video for that before it even got going, because it makes me, I feel really guilty or bad when people say, well, we didn't know about this. We didn't know about this. And look, no one on this team, anyone, on the administration, the board, or anyone, has ever done anything where they didn't try to reach out to people and get them involved.
Right.
The reality is that usually when I talk to people, when they say they don't know, and I finally get them on the phone, they don't like the conversation because I say, well, did you see that this was sent home in your child's backpack? Did you see that this was emailed home? Did you see this on the web? Did you see this about the,
Mhm.
they didn't open anything.
Yeah.
They didn't open their email. They didn't read their constant contact. And so when I go to check the constant contact to see if they've opened it, they didn't open it, but they did receive it.
Mhm.
Because you can check the read history, right? And so I just, and I'm not mad at people, or I just feel bad. Because I think that what I learned from that reflection in my first 3 years here was that we were putting the information out there and you could sleep at night saying you tried, but it wasn't effective.
Mhm.
I don't know if anyone can truly be effective with it, but we're going to give it more of a try. So the strategies that I tried to figure out to increase effectiveness are the text messaging software, because we realize people just look at those, and shorter videos. I try to keep it at 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's super hard to do a video in 1 minute and 30
Yeah.
seconds.
I agree, you lose people. I think that there probably will be times where it will be necessary to make it longer.
Absolutely.
For like the budget, I can understand.
Or the
that.
high school master schedule when it's time to, there could be a, hey, everyone, we've got this coming out. Click here, click on the link below to check out the new master schedule in a longer video.
Right,
So we might be able to do like one long one and one short one, just to
Yeah.
say, this is where you get the stuff.
what about putting them, I don't know, have you guys put them in the constant contact emails before? When you've done a video, have you done it? Okay.
Yeah.
I can't.
But I've never been able to text them.
Yeah,
But
I
that
think
still
that would
only
be cool.
reaches-
It's
It
not-
only reaches our folks in the schools. The
Yeah.
texting isn't, if Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't solve the greater community piece.
Mhm.
And I want to reach out to the people at Sergeant Woods. I want to reach out to the people in the retirement homes or the folks that don't have kids over on the
Well,
lake.
I mean, can we call, hey, what do we? Can we come some night and talk to you about our budget, or,
You could.
I don't know, they're letting people in with COVID, I
Oh,
don't know,
no, definitely not. But that's a future thought.
you know?
So going back to the videos are great. I do, you know, they definitely have a place. I personally don't always have time to watch videos,
Mhm.
but I will read minutes. The town, I think both towns, but I get Kingston's, I'm on Kingston's mailing list,
Yeah,
and I get the selectmen's minutes, and I sign up for the selectmen and the planning board, and
yeah, I see you
I get
posted
their
on
minutes.
Facebook. Yeah,
and I just kind of spend a couple minutes reading the minutes. It would be great if, because I don't distribute the minutes on Facebook. I do distribute the Kingston minutes on the one Kingston page that I'm on.
Mhm.
But I don't usually distribute the minutes of, because I never really know when they come out. I don't know if they're officially, when they're officially issued. If we, is it possible to email the minutes like the towns do that? When the
Totally.
minutes are, you know.
well, the other thing we could do is
Available, they put
Phyllis
them-
puts them right on the web, so she could just send you a quick email saying, hey, Tammy, they're
Well-
posted here, and then you can share them.
I
'Cause
could
later-
certainly do that. I'm also suggesting that we have people on email. We have email lists. You have your constant contact email list. Could we email our board minutes? So that's just an additional way to engage people that don't want to, you know, feel like I don't have time to watch a video.
That is
I
a
just
great
want to
idea.
read, or then they can refer back to them. And
Yep.
I just think that's another way. And I think a lot of people are still on email and not
Mhm.
necessarily on text.
Mhm.
And maybe put them, I wanna say maybe put them with the regular weekly email.
Yeah.
Versus having another email.
No, we'll add them in. I was thinking we put
Right.
them right under my signature for the meetings, the minutes of the most recent school board meeting, click here.
Yeah,
It'll be right at the bottom. It'll be easy to find.
because sometimes I feel like not like right now, well, maybe now, because like I feel like I get a lot of emails from the school with like, just like COVID cases, so like every time I get emails, like, oh gosh. Where maybe 2 years ago, I feel like I've read through everything more, and I feel like now I'm not doing that quite as much.
If you notice, my constant contacts are super focused right now.
Yeah,
Phyllis and I have been talking about that like we feel like people are overloaded, so we're giving you the key
yeah, it's
information.
definitely overloading.
I'm not putting a lot of
But
fluff
to
in there.
Tammy's point though, if you wanna read them, here they are.
Yep.
I agree, that would be. good.
So I was just thinking too, Larry Heath told me once when he was on the board, he said that one thing that had made a big difference was, so I agree with you that not everyone's on text messaging. When I say that, I'm thinking people 30 and under.
Yes.
You know, it's amazing how that generation just doesn't even email, they just text. I am, they're constantly sending me messages in Facebook. I'm like, I don't use it. I said, I have a little spiel all ready to go. Hi, I'm happy to help you. Please email me at TAmbrose, and then I just do it for every single one of them, and it still more will come in.
Mhm.
It's their normal mode of communication. It's fine. I get it. But I think that Larry pointed out that for older folks, particularly the senior citizens that he knew, that the Facebook, they're on Facebook like crazy.
Mhm.
You know, I know my papa is at our house. He's 75 and he loves it.
Mhm.
He's always sending funny stuff. So if we send it out on Facebook too, if I make a video, it's gotta go out multimodal. So I just wanna make sure you know that.
Yeah,
I don't think it would be just text messages. I think it needs to be,
I would agree.
continue with
all of
Facebook,
those.
continue with the emails, you know.
Mhm.
But I also think written. something.
The written piece too, yeah. And what about the newspaper? We haven't been doing that much. The Carriage Town News. Because I think Ellie always said seniors love to read the regular paper.
Yeah.
So one thing I thought of was that it might be nice if the PR committee developed a letter about the budget from the board
Okay.
and put it in there, but have the board agree, or at least approve it. You know what I mean?
How does that logistically work?
It works that you guys would draft a letter, Tammy would draft it in like a Google Doc, and you guys could get it,
So
or I could draft it, you know what I'm saying, Tammy?
And
We'll
I
work
just
on it.
think because, right, we can't meet and have.
No, it would then go
right?
to the board and be
But-
approved by the
So
board. to be sent.
Tammy would kind of come up with it, and then at a board meeting, we would approve if it was
Yeah,
to
if
go
it was
in
acceptable.
paper.
It's just an idea. It doesn't have to happen, but you can write letters as individuals to the community,
Mhm.
but you can't speak for the board. You can only
Yeah.
speak for you.
Mhm.
The board can speak as a whole, and I can speak for the board, so look, I'm happy to draw it up and have everybody say, yeah, we're cool with this. I just think that, like, during COVID, the newspaper got dropped a lot,
Mhm.
right? Like, we didn't use it like we used to. I used to put stuff in the paper a lot, especially around the reorganization.
Yeah.
So,
No, yeah, even I do, like, I look at Purge now.
yeah, I like to read a magazine, a real magazine.
Yeah.
My wife reads everything on the phone now, like books and
I
stuff.
never
and I'm
went to
like,
Kindle
no,
for
no.
Christmas.
All right, that's all I've got for tonight. I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna actually try to get dinner before the board meeting. Are you
I know
going?
we have a little time, actually.
Yeah,
I'm good, I'm good, that's all I have as well. So, okay. Well, we're adjourned.
okay.